Hey, sports fans, welcome back to Big Six Sports Talk. It's your host Marlon here. I got my co-host B right here representing the U, and I got my other co-host here, JR, representing that UNC. It's already started. Just like the previous episode, we're gonna recap last week, good, bad, and the ugly. Then we're gonna sort of open it up to my co-host here and let them speak on all the teams going around, and then after that we'll preview the following week. And with that being stated, I'm gonna go ahead and kick off the good, bad, and ugly for Florida State, because we had the two rivalry game. I want to make sure we let these rivals get to really speak on their terms, being that we was all on the road to witness the North Carolina versus Miami game. Fortunately, I had to watch the Florida State game condensed, so I was blessed. I tried to watch that crap on DVR again, and I only made it to the third quarter. So let's start off with the good, because there's a lot of bad and ugly to talk about. But let's start off with the good. My good is the offense showed that it can do at least 4 minutes to 5 minute drive. It wasn't everything quick strike. They was able to produce first down and carry out long drives. That's something that as a Florida State fan you want to see, because people worry after last week, oh, we're scoring too fast. Never thought that would be an issue, but it was an issue to score too fast. The bad. Where to start with the bad? So let's start with the bad. We'll call it, we'll say the defense. The defense of the last two games has given up 80 points in 2 games. Probably about 1 million yards. 80 points. Why is the defense at Florida State so bad? In my opinion, it's the linebacker play. The linebacker play that'll be ugly. Not even bad, that'll be ugly. It's atrocious. And atrocious is a very friendly word to talk about that. And when you look at the game, it's one of those things that, and I'm definitely going to let my cohorts chime in. I just want to get this out here and I let them chime in and definitely get into it. The defensive linebackers was so bad. They was always in the same gap together, or they was late on reads, or they just lost. Like they play with their eyes closed. So one of the questions I'm gonna throw out there to the table is this something that you feel could be correctable throughout the season, or will it be next year? If it's a next year answer, then I'm gonna let you know, everybody, Harlan Barnett has to go. We have to bring in some fresh defensive coaching blood, because if the players are not picking it up after 2 years with him leading it, I don't see what would change in the future with him leading it. But with that being said, with my good, bad, the ugly, good the offense, the bad the defense, the ugly the linebackers. With that, I'm opening up and let my man B go ahead and chop in on it first.
So am I chopping in on what you just said?
Yeah.
In response to you?
Yeah. Just what do you think about the Florida State linebacker play? Do you think they can?
Well, the Florida State linebacker core is subpar, and I think it's more subpar because what is their identity and role in your defense? I don't think that they understand what their true identity and role is. I think it could be one where they're told to play fast, and that from a linebacker standpoint is a given. But for them, it doesn't allow them, not knowing their responsibilities doesn't allow them to play fast. And I think as the game goes and some of those linemen start to lean on them and wear them down a little bit, that's when they start losing their technique and they start losing their assignments, and they're just trying to play football. And that can always be in trouble whenever you have a scheme that you're trying to run. The thing is, can it be fixed?
Yeah, this year.
This year, my knee-jerk reaction is no. At best, it's going to be very hard because you don't have time to teach it. You don't have time to go back and teach all that. I mean, it's one. I mean, you think about it from an educational standpoint. I mean, if you're in calculus, we can't go back and teach arithmetic. you got to know that before you get in here. And we can't slow things down for you to learn it. We don't have time. We got 6 days until we're getting ready to kick off again. And we got to get that game plan in here. We got to get things going. So it's very, very difficult if the individuals don't know it. And if their backups are, which I'm assuming that their backups aren't smarter because, hell, they all learn the same thing. So that's not an answer either. So my answer to that is no. If they do know what they're doing and they're just not executing it, then it can be more correctable. But only time will tell. And I think that I think Florida State has to have an identity, and Willie Taggart has to establish that identity with Florida State. He has to give them that identity. He can't rely on that identity to be from either the offensive or defensive coordinator. He can't rely on that. Just like Miami before Manny Diaz became the head coach. No matter what the defense was doing, Miami as a whole had an identity, and it was Mark Richt's identity.
Right.
So until Willie Taggart can figure that out, you could always have those issues because you're having coaches that are getting together for the first time. It's not like these coaches have coached with each other over here and over here and over here, like some of the older head coaches that have been kind of long in the tooth coaching have those relationships. So it's going to be interesting to see, and I think Saturday is going to be one that is going to be your first true litmus test.
Yeah, and we'll dive in that Saturday in the future, but I want to spin it over here and give my man JR, the UNC guy, a chance to speak on what he saw, from the linebacker play. And what do you think they can do? Same question. Do you think it's correctable going forward this year?
Well, I'm like both of y'all know what I saw. I just watched it. That was atrocious. And you said it right, atrocious is to put it. That looked like some middle school linebackers. Like, was it number 5 and number 6? Jackson and I can't know.
Woodbay. Yep.
They look completely lost, like they forgot to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna spend a lot of time because it's pretty much redundant. We know they need help. But can it be corrected during the season? I'm kind of on the fence with it. Partly say no, but then if they take it, if some serious coaching go on, like, hey, you need to hit this film room and watch this, they got a shot of getting a little better. But totally corrected, no.
But just to add to what you're saying right there is, watching film is one thing, and I think sometimes as a fan, we take it for granted in like everybody is educated on watching film.
Right.
You have to know how to watch film, and if
They
you
don't
don't know how to watch film, and you don't have leaders that can teach them how to watch film, then they're gonna be dead in the water. Like it's gonna be tough because you don't even know how to ingest what you're watching and how and what you're looking for in film and things of that nature. So that just continues to even make it that much more difficult for the guys.
My mind just cruising.
All right, so be like you were saying, as we was talking here, just to close up the Florida State linebacker stuff. So, in general, not to be the dead horse, there's a slight, minute chance that it could be correctable, but the consensus is, and even myself included, I think it's going to be something that you just hope to see a little bit of improvement throughout the year. I'm just hoping that Florida State defense can keep people at about 31 points a game. That's the goal. That's your life goal right there. Wow. Right. If you don't play the linebackers, you asking a lot. You asking a lot for the offense. But, once again, that was my 2 cents and my take around Florida State. With that being said, I'm going to spin it over to my man B, the Hurricane fan here, and give his good, bad, and ugly of our Saturday night trip. And talk a little bit about what you thought about the campus though, man. What you think about the campus in that Carolina a little bit, man? It was my first time being there, so.
that was my first time going around the campus, and it's a nice campus. I mean, it's a real good environment. You can tell that they have a lot of support from their fan base, and yeah, I was pleased with it.
Okay, cool. I was too. I think it's a beautiful campus, and we'll put some footage up here. I have some footage. We're gonna put it up here. But with that, what was your impressions of when you walked into the stadium, the atmosphere of the stadium?
Man, but the atmosphere was electric. I think the city was ready for the game, and they are loving them some Mac Brown right now. Mac Brown right now can do. He could do evil, but they probably let it go.
Right. All right. I know I sort of delayed this segment a little bit, but I'm gonna let you dive into what you thought about your Miami side, good, bad, and ugly.
Good. Good. Our offense. I mean, I really like how the running backs ran. I like the tight ends. I'm loving how they're being utilized this year. Receivers played nice. O-line got better. I'm not gonna say that they completely night and day from week one. Now there's still work to be done, but they did get better, and they just need to kind of keep that going into the next game. Bad, I would say. Bad would be how we came out. For the first two games, all credit to the Tar Heels, because they came out and smacked us in the mouth early. Mm-hmm. Like, first two quarters, they was like, y'all don't want this smoke. And they showed it, and they did as such. And for us to take so much time, the first two games, to finally get up and start playing, you shouldn't need that. When you're in the two environments they experienced in the first 2 weeks, or in week 0 and week 2, you shouldn't need that. And Manny Diaz has to do a better job of getting those boys ready to go off the rip. The ugly is a tie. Because I watched the condensed game again today, and I would say that special teams in particular, Bubba Baxter. Oh my gosh. Is there any way? I'm just saying, is there any way? What's the saying? You got one job. You got one job.
Yeah.
And it was clear that he's struggling. He's got to get his confidence, because we're gonna need him in the stretch. Pure point blank bottom line. When looking at the condensed game, and in doing it, had he made that one field goal that was, I think, what,
26 yards.
That worst case scenario, we would have been going to overtime. True. Worst case. Best case, we could have won it, had a chance to win it. But and those are the small things sometimes that can make a difference in a game. Another thing is not bad, but does need improvement is we gotta get the percentages up of punching the ball in the red zone. We can't settle for field goals all the time. And if he don't get better, we definitely can't. The ugly to me was our DBs. Our secondary got ripped. I did not realize it until I watched the condensed version. Oh my goodness. They can share that, because it was all of them, and it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Woo, Jiminy Christmas. So they definitely got to get better these next 2 weeks because they definitely did not come prepared for the game, as far as I'm concerned, against North Carolina.
Right.
Well, I say the best for last, cause you know.
Well, go ahead. I know you was around there. I know you was around there itching.
First, I gotta thank y'all for making that trip with me up.
No, first off, we appreciate the invite. Hey, I have to echo again, man. Everything about that was fantastic.
You can make a game out there in North Carolina, you should.
Absolutely. Stadium, the fans, the atmosphere, it was nice. But go ahead, man. Say that.
I got a couple goods. First good I would have to say is our atmosphere. You know, they asked for the fans to come out, the fans to be electric, and I do believe from beginning to end, our fans were truly in the game and helped our team out. Good also is, man, I can't say enough about Sam Howell, man, to be a true freshman. Faced with 4th and 17, and you just stood up there and just, even though Miami DB just forgot to play, but it still took guts for 4th and 17, you let it go.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I mean, I give a lot of respect to Sam. I mean, he played a good game. He made more than just the 4th and 17 play.
Right.
He kept us in
there was a lot he did, and I know there are other universities out there that really wish they could have had.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
But we're all right.
Also, good. Also, and this is double because they also my bad is the coaching. I think the coaching came out with a great game plan for Miami to kind of punch them in the mouth, and Miami was probably expected to come out. Carolina come out running the ball, and Carolina came out tossing, throwing it all over the field, and caught Miami off guard. But going into the bad, also coaching, because when we up 17-3, you do not take your foot off the gas. They took their foot off the gas and started trying to force feed the run instead of giving what Miami was giving you, which was throw the ball across the field. Now, so when I started center went out, they kind of did throw a little time off with the passing, but once it got back, as you see, Carolina came back and did what they're supposed to do. So I got to give coaching. They got to trust. To me, they got to trust him. How he's done nothing to prove you can't trust him with the game. Ugly is our punter. Our punter, God, I think he had a 10-yard punt. 2 of Miami scores in the second half was set off a bad punts. You can't punt and give them the ball.
Shout out to the Tar Heels punter.
Yeah, I understand you're a freshman and all this, but dude, you got. As Brian said earlier, you got one job. You got one job. You punting the ball.
Right.
Get it? Come on, man. But overall, am I pleased? Coming from last year, I can be nothing but ecstatic and love what Mac is doing in there, and I truly believe our team is bought into what Mac Brown's selling, and I'm just anxious to see where the rest of the season go for us.
All right. We're going to pause right here. All right, so like I said, I want to, as we was talking about, you know, what the good, the bad, ugly, North Carolina, I just want to open up a little bit and give some of my thoughts and impressions of players that really shocked and surprised me. Miami tight ends. You know, you have 1A in Brevin Jordan and 1B in Will Mallory. Them boys will take that same 10. Them boys ball. They gonna be problems. Problems for everybody. And I am in fear for the Florida State defense when them boys come to town in November 2nd. Because the way our linebackers play, gonna have about 1,000,001 yards. But with that being said, though, from the North Carolina side, I really like that running back, number 25. I don't know the kid's name.
Javonte Williams.
All right, that kid there, ball. He runs hard, he runs aggressive, and he ran angry, and he got the yards when it mattered. When I thought he was bottled up and watching the game, kid was squirted out. Hey. It's on me, right? All right, let's go. But that's all I have. I don't know if anyone else have anything else to add to this game week.
All I say, man, shout out to Tar Heel Nation, baby. Nobody expected us to win that game, including Hurricane Man across the table from me. But however, you know, we squeaked it out. Mac is back, baby.
Mac is back.
Mac is back.
Well, that's
Congratulations to the Tar Heels. I give them that respect for being able to win it out. Miami has to get ready. I mean, they got a big game coming up. This is a game that can really help define what's going into the rest of the season. So I really think that they should really look at this game and look at this as a building stone for the rest of the season and getting ready to get back in ACC play in a few weeks.
yeah, and I'll say Miami, even though they're on 2, they have played damn good football in both games.
So I would say this.
So-
Let me say this. I got to give Miami credit because honestly, a lot of teams would laid down at 17-3.
Yeah.
And with that energy next day, it was rocking. For Miami, basically second, third quarter, just took the game over. Much props to Manny Diaz them down there, man. I'm glad we got Miami out of the way early in the year. Because later in the year, they're going to be a force to reckon with.
Absolutely.
Right now, they're looking up with us to the standings, and that's all.
That's all that matters, right?
That's all that's important.
Well, with that, let's go ahead and segue into our next week opponents, if y'all don't mind.
Like I got the first game this week. We got Friday night.
Oh, absolutely. When there's only Friday night.
Who you got?
We got Wake Forest on Friday night.
And let's put a fun fact out here with the Wake Forest game for those that like to put a little money on out there, bet a little cheap. Can you believe that they got Wake Forest a 3-point favorite in this game?
That's the home tilt.
But I just don't.
I believe it.
I don't. I think North Carolina has proven that they're a solid team, unless South Carolina is really that bad.
Well, I don't think that.
And Miami's solid, but yeah.
Well, I still don't think that the two games because if you take everything out, as much as we feel we know about our own certain teams, if you take all that out and you're just someone with no bias. You're talking about a Miami team that was 0-1 and was 6-7 last year. That you beat at home. You had a South Carolina team that unfortunately pundits didn't feel South Carolina was that strong this year. So with that and with the season that North Carolina had last year, I think that that this game to the pundits really is a wash. That's why they gave them 3 points.
Okay.
As I saw today, they gave 3 points for being the home team.
Right, but I think that it's but if I was going to put this blue chip on one of the teams, I'd give it to the Tar Heels right now because of the way they're playing, and they are all in with what's going on. But we'll see. I know that there's been some positive buzz about Wake Forest this year too. So, but I haven't had a chance to see them.
I mean, I've looked at them a little bit, and they do have a pretty decent quarterback. So our secondary, who we're missing, our best corner towards ACL in Miami games.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Patrice Renee is gone for the year.
Oh.
So that does kind of hurt. He's out the first quarter.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Wake Forest, though, I can't say they are 2-0 also, but they did play Rice in Utah State. So I take that with a grain of salt, especially the Rice victory.
Right.
But I will say we better be ready to play because they're going to be rocking the Winston-Salem team. This is a non-conference game, which is crazy, these two rivals. And I feel we got to play out, we got to come ready because I think they're going to come out ready to punch us in the mouth. It's going to be funny to see Chad Surratt, who's our starting middle linebacker, go against his brother, who's a star wide receiver for Wake Forest. It's going to be quite interesting. But I do feel if we come out with establishing the run seriously against Wake Forest, I don't think they've seen an offense like ours, per se, with that power run. If we do what we got to do.
I don't think you should get away from the way you all. The game plan that you had at the beginning of Miami should be the game plan until somebody stops it.
Yeah.
Because
it's a true balance.
It was really good.
Right.
It was really good.
Field goal preaches balance, and that's we gotta keep that.
Absolutely.
But it's gonna be a tough game. But I do see us coming out probably around about 27-20. I do like our front seven. I do love the pressure that Crawford's getting and Strobridge is getting, and even Tamon Fox, who had 3 sacks against Miami. I love the pressure they're getting up front, and like I said, nothing against Rice or Utah State, but I don't think neither one of them have come with what we have come with. Okay.
It's hard to argue that. Just a quick question. If for it's on you to play, but just a quick question for the casual fans. Like, okay, I'm gonna tune in and watch UNC. What would you tell them? Some of the things you'd tell them to key in and look at, or you know how you have those things and say, hey, watch. You know.
First of all, player you mentioned earlier, watch Javonte Williams. If he's running the ball, there's nothing nobody's going to do with us, because all you're going to do is set up that play action, and our receivers will get behind you. We do have athletes on the field. I think a lot of people do underestimate the athletes North Carolina has, but I give Phil Lobo a good, he does a great job of distributing the ball to our athletes and getting them in the right position. So if Javonte Williams is running the ball, we're going to be a very, very tough out all year. And then you have Michael Carter, the number 8 comes behind him, and he's our outside running back. If he gets to that corner, you can count it. It's touchdown. But we do got to show up our running game, because DJ Dallas lit us up. I'm talking about, God, he ran straight.
I didn't mention, but DJ Dallas is special.
DJ
he got a Florida defense too.
He's
special.
He ran through us like butter.
Yeah, he's special. You know, the biggest knock on DJ last year was just fumbles. He
ain't fumbled nothing against him.
Yeah, right. He hasn't fumbled. I don't know if he fumbled. I don't think he fumbled at all this year. But before we move on, Brian, you want to add anything to the North Carolina Wake Forest tidbit, or?
Well, the thing is in going into this game, of course, any win would be tremendous. But how does a loss affect North Carolina if they lose, whether it be big or close?
I think this one will hurt a lot, because it's a rivalry game. And Mac Brown was talking about the other day, they have what they call the North Carolina State Championship. North Carolina plays all 3 teams, actually play 4. We play Appalachian State also. So this will be a letdown game, especially coming out to Miami. What I fear is, I hope our players are not reading their press clip and like, oh, here we go, and just stay the course. But I'm like you, I do want to see what we do with adversity, but I don't want us to lose. But I am anxious to see what we do after, we get that first loss. Hopefully it will last about 2 weeks. We got Clemson.
Yeah, that's different. We'll broach that 2 weeks from now. All right, well, like I said, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you here, as I believe you have the next game slated for Saturday. You got on the docket, man, next week, and just give a little information on it, what you take and what you like to see.
Well, we're playing Bethune-Cookman, so the game itself should be a good one. It should be one where we just need to execute in all phases and do what we're supposed to do. I think in games like this, you want to see your team execute in the manner that they're supposed to execute, and making sure that is being done accordingly. And so again, I want to see our kicking game. I'd also like to see our kicking game improve and be a lot better. I also want to see our line stay out there and get good reps in together. They haven't been together as a unit long. So give them that chance to get out there and get some reps together against somebody that they should be able to, block pretty well and get that confidence going and kind of keep it rolling there. I want them to be aggressive, get on them early, don't let off the pedal. I would love to see them put up a 60, 70 point game on them. But the main thing is I really want to see how they execute and play 4 quarters.
Yeah. I mean, I think for y'all this will be a game that will definitely get the win and get that momentum going and get that good feeling and good rep. Because sometimes all it takes is one to get the ball rolling, and y'all been so close in the first 2 games. So definitely want to see that. And being with this Bethune-Cookman, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have too much to add, but 15 more points. But I'll go ahead and trigger to the biggest game of the Taggart era. It's Saturday, 7 p.m.
Of the era?
Of his era, Taggart era. Yeah.
Of his era? Like, since he's been there?
Since he's been in Florida State, yes.
You gotta tell me how that happened.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how that happened. Because by the time we played Clemson about last year at Virginia Tech, it was no games of his era. No, the reason it's the biggest game of his era because the expectations once again at Florida State was a little bit higher in general, right? And with that being said, is everybody looked at last year's offense. Now it's defense, and we're trying to see can Willie Taggart get a signature win.
Yeah.
In his tenure at Florida State.
Because Virginia is.
And Virginia is ranked at 25 in the nation. Florida State's unranked 1-1. Look like they barely holding on. So can he pull a signature win out there? No one's expecting them to win. He doesn't have a signature win at Florida State, so that's why it's the biggest game of his era. With that being said, well, go ahead, because it seems like you want to say something there.
I don't agree with you, but I was gonna let you finish, but yeah, I don't. Yes, he doesn't have a signature win. Is this the biggest game? I still would say no, because it's Florida State, and Florida State he was in several big games last year. Now again, is this the biggest game he's got a chance to win? Yeah, because it's 0-0. But he's had big wins, but he's had big games before that could have been pivotal in his career so far at Florida State. It's just that they came up very.
You lead into my point of why I say it's the biggest game of his era, because yes, there's other big games, but he's always came up short.
I would say it's redemption more than a biggest game. It's a chance to redeem yourself from other.
Right now, I'm gonna not agree with him on that, because right now how Florida State was shown, to be the ranked team right now would be the biggest signature win Willie Taggart has right now. Is it the biggest game of his tenure? Is it gonna be? Hopefully not. But as of right now, for what the state of their program is, absolutely, it is their biggest victory. Just like, to be honest.
So you give them the win.
Do I give them the win?
You said the biggest victory.
I said no. I'm sorry. Right.
And I said that.
My bad. It was 18.
Right. It was something. The Florida State fan didn't even say that. I said the biggest game, right?
I'm sorry. The biggest game as of right now, if Florida State was to win, do I think they're going to Charlottesville and win?
No. So, and looking at our linebacker play, I don't see how any rational Florida State fan could sit here and feel 100% confident. Yeah, we're gonna move for our team, but when you start to look at it realistically, you're like, we missing a whole lot. And you're talking about a team that is solid, fundamentally sound, well coached up, versus a team that's undisciplined. They may not even have belief or faith in the scheme that they're running defensively. There's too many question marks to say you're going to go on the road, face a ranked team, and come away with a W. If that does happen, believe me, I'm going to act a fool.
Is it a night game?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, 7 o'clock at night.
Night game was Charlottesville.
You're harping on the linebackers, and I think it's because they are the newest focal point based on last game. There's more holes to Florida State's defense right now than just the linebackers. That's just what in my opinion, that's just what stuck out most in the past game.
Well, you're absolutely right. There are more holes, but the linebackers, they're consistent in being a hole. They're the most consistent unit of
So you went.
being on.
Did you go back and watch Boise State game now? Were the linebackers that bad in that one?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You might have a consistent problem.
Right. Everybody else, you can talk about, okay, you know, the pass rush may not be the greatest, but every once in a while we get one. More than that, you know, the DBs play, they're decent. They're not DBU or nothing like that at this moment. But there's what we're missing is if you have teams on first down get 5 yards to carry, 6 yards to carry, up the middle, run through the 1 and the 2. You know, and then it's not just straight lines, one cutback, and there's a damn gaping hole that and you say, well, you focus on linebacker. Well, someone's supposed to be in that hole, and you hope it's a linebacker, because that's.
Well, you know.
And you look at, you see two is in the same gap.
But you know where I'm going with that is you have 2 studs that got their hand in the dirt at Florida State, and for them to be nowhere to be found as you're getting gashed, as you're saying, up the middle, that has to be concerning too. I mean, yes, do the linebackers contribute to that? But the first line of defense are them 2 big boys up front. Are they getting the penetration they're supposed to get? Are they being as disruptive as they can be before it ever gets to the second level? Because you're talking about the second level. They got to get past the first level before the second level. And if they're going up the middle, then they're going at what I thought was the teeth of your defense.
Right, but when they go up that middle, you're right. They all going up the middle. So when everybody hit their gap responsibility, right, from a defensive line. So we say, okay, Big Maul, this is your gap. Big Coop, this is your gap. They in their gap. So when that running back look at his initial gap and he sees that gap is full and he cuts back, who's responsible for that? And they're penetrating diagonally. So when that running back stop and cut back, who's responsible for filling that void right there? That's Florida State problem. It's not the initial.
Okay, that void can be the linebacker, but also with that being said, what I have seen, because I did go and watch the first game, was Coop, and then we're also getting washed. So it wasn't like they were keeping gap integrity. You have to keep gap integrity in order for that to happen. Now, if that's the case, that linebacker's not going to just shoot through there like it's nothing. Why? Because that gap ain't that big. They got to go through.
Those couple plays I saw were defensive line was in the linebacker spot. They were getting watched.
So to me, I would almost, and I'll go back and take a look again to make sure that they were exactly where they were supposed to be too, because again, them getting one step to the left or one step to the right of where they are is, you might as well say that's an extra yard that you've opened up for that back to be able to maneuver. Now you're asking me to cover a gap that's this wide. So that's not how it was intended. That gap was supposed to be like this.
Right.
And if it's like this, somebody
right. Oh, and I'm not saying they're 100% mistake free. What I'm saying is more times than not that you can look at Big Coop and all them down line that they're where they're supposed to be at.
Well, we got a long season, so I never pay attention a little bit more. But in what I saw of things going up the middle, to have the 2 guys that you have there, it shouldn't be like that.
Right. I agree with that. Would not disagree with that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be a long one in Charlottesville. I'm praying we can figure something out defensively, and this will be a good test for our offense. Our offense has put up many points in the first 2 weeks. Boise State, ULM, people feel like that's not a true litmus test. This will be a true test of where they at.
So Marlon, I'm gonna put you on the spot. If Florida State goes out there and lays a major egg
as a whole team,
as a team, like you go out there and let's say
45, 30.
Blackman got 3 interceptions. It just looked like you got dominated for the most part of the game.
The Clemson games, all the games.
I don't that far, but let's say it was the Virginia Tech game of last year.
Okay.
Is it one where? What is your forecast for the rest of the year? Is it one where, in your heart of hearts, that you feel like, oh, it's gonna be another long year, or is it something that hopefully we can be able to find a way to pull out from.
So
I mean, I'm giving you.
yeah, I know you give me options. So I can tell you how I feel now. I already feel it's gonna be a long year now with looking at that defense. I don't have to wait till Charlottesville. I don't have to wait till Charlottesville to put it out there. I think it's gonna be a long year already because going back to what you said, what studs we supposed to have on defense. And the way ULM average 5 yards to carry, 6 yards to carry, I'll be disillusioned thinking that anything else can happen. I'm trying to figure out if they can pick something up throughout the year. I'm like at the point, can we keep teams to 31 points a game? And we're down from 31. Shit, we gave up 36 and 44. So, shit. You're right. So for me, in all honesty, it's like, shit, can we just 31 points a game and pray that our offense can put up more, and maybe we can go from 31 getting down to 28 to show increments of improvement. I'm not looking for a drastic change. I'm looking for increments.
Gotcha. Something positive to build.
Right. That's all we got right now. That's all we got.
CMB.
So yeah.
Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see what you guys end up doing there.
20.
I have my thoughts. We ain't got to the predictions yet.
Okay, well,
So,
since you brought up, go ahead and go with it. Go ahead and run your predictions. First of all, 3 games.
My mind just cruising. My mind just cruising.
So going into this next, we're gonna go ahead and give a shout out to our predictions here. With that said, we're gonna start off. I'm gonna start off with the early game, the Friday night game, and then let my man from UNC put the prediction in first, since they got the Friday night kickoff. For 3 games.
UNC 27, Wake Forest 17. Miami 56, Bethune-Cookman 10. Virginia 35, Florida State 24.
Close with the same numbers. I think the Wake Forest, North Carolina, I see that being Wake Forest 28, North Carolina 24. And for Miami, Bethune-Cookman, I see it being 63 Miami, 10 for Florida State, Virginia, Virginia 35, Miami, Florida State 24.
Okay. And for me, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out with I got the UNC game. I have UNC favored to win. I'm going 31-28. Tight game, but the Mac is back there, find a way to pull it out. The Miami game, I agree, it's gonna be a blowout. 50, 60 points, but I think as there's some of the young players, you may see them get some cheap touchdowns, anywhere from 10 to 17 points, I think. Right. The Florida State game, and I'm gonna be honest here, as much as I want Florida State to win, if I would keep it honest, I am gonna go 28 points for Florida State, and I'm gonna give Virginia 42. 42-28. Until they can show they can stop somebody, I don't see why they wouldn't score 40.
To all my friends and family.
So my best defense versus Virginia is gonna be Bronco Mendenhall with the pace. they gonna be able to do anything. But hey, once again, subscribe. We appreciate y'all for following us. And once again, appreciate y'all on journey. We'll be back next week with our recap for Big Six Sports Talk. Signing out, baby.
Getting and it feel like cruising.